How's it going, guys? aRenG Live here, and today we got news of the new set Resonance of Contrast, which is coming to Duel Links very soon. I actually don't know the exact date, but I will be putting the time up here. Alright, so we are getting news about this, and we have the list of all the cards in the set, and today we're going to be going over the best cards in the new set. So, to start off, let's go ahead and talk about the basic things that this set is covering. This set is supporting Red Eyes gameplay, zombie gameplay, and a little tiny bit of light. Also, it is introducing Bujins to the mix, so that should be interesting. That will depend. If you would like to play those type of archetypes, then this might be whether or not, like, what convinces you to either get this set or not. But it will have a lot of decent, like, one-off cards that might be pretty good. I don't know how meta they can become, but from what I'm seeing, none of the stuff here is going to become meta-defining unless something crazy happens with the Red Eye stuff. But whatever, let's go ahead and take a look at the stuff. Alright, first card we're looking at is one of the URs. There's only a few cards in the sense that it is a mini box, so you gotta keep that in mind. So we only have two URs, and one of them, for whatever reason, is Snipe Hunter. Snipe Hunter is a very cheeky card. It's a very luck-based card. So it could be really fun to watch somebody actually pull this off. One thing cool about this guy is, let me just go ahead and read his effect. This guy does state that you can discard one card, then target one card on the field, roll a 6-sided die, and destroy that target unless you roll a 1 or a 6. So it is a really, like, cheeky card to be able to use because you have to roll a dice, and there is a chance that you can miss. But the thing is, there's not a limit on how many times you can use this. Basically, as many times as you have cards to discard, you can keep using this guy. So that's what makes him pretty good. And that's most likely why he's a UR, because it can pretty much clear your opponent's field. Unless you get really, really unlucky and get nothing but 1s and 6s, which I don't think is going to happen, but whatever. So that's the first card, the first UR in the set. Fair enough, Snipe Hunter, very cheeky, not really degenerate, but it's just a cheeky card. Moving on, the next card we're looking at is kind of like the flagship card in this set, Red Eye / Dragon. Now, I'm actually really excited for Red Eye / Dragon. This card looks legit. It has a really, really good effect, and let me just go ahead and go over his effect to not, like, leave you guys wondering. Alright, so the fusion materials for this are, you need a Red Eyes Black Dragon plus 1 warrior monster. So you can use any warrior monster, which is awesome, and it doesn't state that you have to use Red Eyes, so you can technically use a fusion substitute monster, so that could work. So you can use them King of the Swamps or whatever, and any warrior, and GG, you got this guy as a fusion. So it's not that hard to make, but there's a lot of stuff you can make with it, but I'll go over that in a bit. Let's go ahead and read the rest of his effect. It does state, when a Red Eyes monster declares an attack, you can target 1 warrior monster in your graveyard and equip it to this card as an equip spell with this effect. The equipped monster gains 200 attack. So that's it. Basically, when it attacks, you equip it with the warrior from your grave. It doesn't matter what warrior it is, but it's a warrior. So you equip it with the warrior, and it gains 200 attack for each equip. So there you go. Pretty simple effect. So if they don't destroy your back row, or you don't get rid of your back row, you could potentially have an extra 600 attack on this Red Eyes, making them 3,400. Pretty decent. Pretty decent little beater there. But another thing about his effect is, it's actually really cool because the rest of his effect does state, when a card effect is activated that targets a card you control, or cards you control, you can activate this effect, which is a quick effect, so you can activate on your opponent's turn, you can activate in response to a quick play, whatever. It says you can send 1 equipped card you control to the graveyard. So that means, I don't know if that means like it has to be equipped to this Red Eyes. It could just be an equipped card you control. You can have another monster out with an equip powering up, and you could send that equip away, but I think you might as well send the Red Eyes thing away. Send away the equip to negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. So that's really good because this instantly has an answer like to econ. So this card would not be able to be econned if it's already attacked once. The first turn it's summoned, you could potentially stop it. You could econ it, put it in defense because it does not have it doesn't start off inherently with a equip. unless you have some kind of Red Eyes equip spell deck, then that would be the only way you stop a first turn Econ. As of right now, I can only really think of Econ. I know there's more, but I just can't think of much else. There's a lot of crazy combos you can probably pull off with this guy, which is the reason I'm excited for it, because all you need is a Warrior and a Red Eyes to fuse. So I'm instantly thinking of like endless possibilities you can make with this guy. Maybe making like an extra deck of Red Eye Slash Dragon and that Buster Blader fusion guy that you pretty much fuse with any dragon or whatever, and a warrior or something along those lines. I want to make something like that. But there's that. There's also a Neos possibility. You could probably make a Neos Red Eyes deck. I think that would be pretty cool too. But and I think in one of the tips they do show off. They show off that you can use Guardian of Felgrand, which I did actually pick up my second copy of. So it kind of sucks for you guys who picked the other card. This looks like it supports that Guardian of Felgrand. So if you got GG if you picked the Guardian of Felgrand. Alright, but that's pretty much it for Red Eyes Slash Dragon as of now. Let's go ahead and move on. Next card we're looking at is Phalanx Pike. Now, this card does state the equipped monster gains 900 attack for each card in either graveyard that has the same name as it does. First thing I thought of for this is Cyber Dragons, because there's a lot of Cyber Dragons in the grave. They all become Cyber Dragon and this and that, so you can gain a lot of attack with just this one card. There's also a lot of support for that in this set, so I think that might be kind of supporting those small plays that this deck, or not this deck, that this set holds. So I think that's an interesting thing. But aside from that, I don't think it's going to be that relevant. It is an equip spell, and equip spells usually are not that great. But whatever. Moving on. Next card we're looking at is actually a pretty decent card. It's called Defense Draw. This card is all plussing from what I've seen. Like, it only stops one attack for the most part, but so does an Econ. So I don't know. It just states, during your opponent's turn, at damage calculation. So right when they're attacking you, when they're trying to deal damage, make the battle damage you take from this battle 0, and if you drew, draw 1 card. This is actually a pretty legit card. I kind of like it. There's like no downside to it. There's no downside. I mean, you might lose a monster, but if they're attacking you directly, I know you could definitely make a deck for this. I know you can make a deck with like no monsters, and you just run Defense Draw and try to get a bunch of draws off of this. I think that would be pretty legit. Definitely keep an eye out for this card. This card is going to be pretty interesting. Moving on. The next card we're looking at is a card that I'm actually pretty excited for. Like I said, we got that zombie support, that Red Eye support. This one is the Paladin of the Cursed Dragon. Now, in Duel Links we do have, I think we have that Paladin of White Dragon in Duel Links. It's been a while since I've used it, but I'm pretty sure we have it. And it is, yeah, we do have it. And it's basically the non-zombified version of this guy. And this card is actually pretty legit. Just as a zombie, it is really legit. It has that Red Eyes zombie effect, where if it destroys a, what is it, a level 4 or lower? And once per turn you can target one level 4 or lower zombie type monster that in your opponent's graveyard that was destroyed by battle. Special summon that target to your side of the field. So it doesn't even need to be destroyed by Paladin of the Cursed Dragon. It can just be destroyed at any point. Also with Zombie World, all your opponent's monsters are zombies. So you can just pick whatever you want. And so you get a free monster with Paladin of the Cursed Dragon at least once per turn, which is awesome. This card is really, really good. I think zombie decks are going to have a field day with this. Alright, and moving on. Next card we're looking at is Skill Successor. I think this card is okay. It's I don't know. That's the thing. I say it and I see it and I'm just like, well, it's all right, I guess. You can activate it on your first turn and give your monster 400 attack during like the battle phase or something. So it kind of acts like a defensive card where it can like let you slightly run over your opponent's stuff, kind of like a Metal Morph. But the thing that makes this card shine is that during the next turn you can banish it from the grave and give it 800 attack. So that's cool, but I mean they only keep the attack boost till the end phase, so it's just a card that has 2 uses. So I think that's okay. Also, maybe you can run this in some kind of mill deck, like a Lightsworns. That's the first thing I thought of. You can run it in Lightsworns and mill it, and then just gain 800 during any one of your like battle phases or whatever. I don't know, I think that might be pretty cool. That's pretty much it. Moving on. The next card we're looking at is Void Trap Hole. This card I actually really liked in the TCG. I liked it because it was a way to get over a certain card that I really liked playing, and then since I really liked playing it, all my friends started trying to get their hands on it and trying to use it. So I instantly wanted to crush them for trying to use my card. Alright, so the card I'm talking about is Beals. I forget its full name, but it's just Beals. It's a synchro, and it just cannot be destroyed by battle, and it's just really OP. This card instantly destroys Beals. It gets rid of it, it negates his effect, then it destroys it. But what it does is, when your opponent special summons a monster or monsters with 2,000 or more attack, negate the effects of one of those monsters with 2,000 or more attack, and if you do, destroy it. So the thing is, if it's got to be special summoned, and it has to have an effect. I'm saying that this is one of those one-off cards that might actually see a lot of play. It's kind of like Floodgate, but maybe not as good as Floodgate. I don't know, it depends, because it's way more common for your opponent to summon something smaller, and that it's going to be annoying. The Floodgate just saves you that turn, but this one is like set up for when they summon a boss monster, so this can really save you. So I don't know, I think this card is really good, and I want this card, I really do. Back from my TCG days. I never did get this card, by the way. Alright, so that's pretty much it for Void Trap Hole. Moving on. And this is the start of the Bujins. Alright, so we got Bujin Yamato, or Yamato. I don't know. I always call it Yamato, but it's pronounced however you want, dude. Yamato. Alright, so we got Bujin Yamato, who is the heart and soul of the Bujin archetype. Now, Bujin Yamato is a really good card. It's your search engine for Bujins, and from what I've seen in this set, I actually checked out the whole thing, we're not getting a whole lot of Bujin stuff. I mean, Bujin in the TCG was an Xyz archetype. He would summon whatever their Xyz monster and do their shenanigans and attack all your opponent's monster, but Bujins are usually like a one-man versus the world kind of deck. You have one monster and you protect it, and you protect the crap out of it, dude. And that's how Bujins really play. It basically works like you have this Bujin Yamato, who you're going to have 3 copies of. You have to have 3 copies if you want to run Bujins, because this guy is the heart and soul of the deck. So you have this guy on the field, and you can constantly be like shuffling, adding a card, discarding one. Some of the Bujin support cards, they're all monsters, or most of them are monsters, and they activate either in the hand or in the grave. So the whole game with Bujins is you're going to want to add the ones that activate in the hand to your hand, and send the ones that activate in the grave to the grave. And so that's their game plan. And a lot of them are basically, it's like you can banish this card from the grave to act like an econ or whatever. Stuff like that. So that's pretty much how the Bujins work. But you can also set a whole bunch of back row to protect them. So there's kind of, that's how they're supposed to work. But we're not getting that much Bujin support, but it does look like it's like the start of the Bujin Empire. Also, if you notice about the Bujins, they all have a slight resemblance to certain GX characters. If you guys have not noticed that, I might as well point that out right now. I just wanted to point it out because it's just something that's pretty interesting to me. Alright, moving on. Now the next card we're looking at is called Dawn Knight. This card is actually pretty cool. This is what I'm saying, that it does support Lightsworns. There's technically lights. But this is one of those cards, like all the knights, if you haven't noticed, all the knights have their own little thing where they all kind of support their attribute, whatever. So this guy, you know that if you're running lights, you're usually going to be running Lightsworns that send stuff to the grave. This guy has an effect that if he's sent to the grave, you can do some shenanigans, or he basically puts a card back on top of your deck, so you can choose whatever was milled and add it into the deck, so next turn you can draw it. And that's pretty much how this guy works. It's a pretty cool card, but all of them have their own little shenanigans that benefits their not their archetype, but their element. So I think Dawn Knight is a really good card, especially if you're running at Lightsworns. It makes it a lot less luck-sacky and a lot more controlled. So you can actually control the monsters you want to draw and add and do all this other stuff. So it's a pretty good card. Moving on. Next card we're looking at is Paladin of Dark Dragon. More of that red-eye support. Alright, so I did talk about Paladin of White Dragon before. This guy is Paladin of Dark Dragon, and it kind of works the same ritual, but it's a little bit better. A little bit better. Actually, a lot better. Alright, so this one does state, you can ritual summon this card with Dark Dragon Ritual. At the start of the damage step, if this card attacks a defense position monster, destroy that monster. You can tribute this card to special summon one red-eyes monster from your hand or deck. except Red Eyes B Chick, because Red Eye B Chick is they messed up on the naming. The English version is not supposed to have Red Eyes in the name or whatever. But you can only use the effect of Paladin of Dark Dragon once per turn. So this guy is good. I'm saying this not just because of the Paladin effect. I mean, sure, he can pull out a Red Eyes from the deck, which I think Paladin of White Dragon can only special summon from the hand, I believe. So this guy can special summon from the deck. That's good. But another thing I wanted to talk about this card, let me go ahead and look at the Ritual spell. And that card is Dark Dragon Ritual. Dark Dragon Ritual is really good because aside from being the Ritual spell that brings out the Paladin of Dark Dragon, it's also a search card. It is a search card for any Red Eyes back row card, so you can basically add your Red Eyes Insight or your Red Eyes Spirit, which is pretty cool. You can add that Insight and then activate Insight to add that Spirit, thinning out the deck a little bit more. I like this card because of that searchability, so I think this is pretty cool. I don't know. I think this is pretty legit, and if only there was a way to just run like a, I don't know, I keep thinking about mill decks, dude. I really like Lightsworns. But I want to make a deck and just mill this and just use it as a search engine, but whatever. That's pretty much it for that. Let's go ahead and talk about the next card. As of now, we've already covered all of the SRs in the set. Now I'm just going to give it some special mentions to some really cool cards, like really good rares and stuff. So Luster Dragon is one of the first ones. I've actually been waiting for this card to come to Duel Links for a pretty long time. It's a 1900 beater dragon type monster, and that's just pretty cool. I think that at this point in Duel Links, this card's already kind of been out phase. Like, it's not going to be that great, but I just wanted to give a shout out to it because it's here finally, and I just like this card. But whatever, let's go ahead and talk about some of the other really great cards in this set. Next card we're looking at is Sacred Crane. Now, this card I wanted to talk about because it's going to give you a lot of cool plays. Alright, so you could basically make a deck around this card, and it is Sacred Crane. Its effect does state, when this card is special summoned, draw one card. Alright, fair enough. So all we gotta do is special summon this card, and you get to draw. Now, first thing first, I thought of zombies. We're gonna this whole set is about zombies. Run this guy in a zombie world deck. If it's sent to the grave, revive it with Ill Blood every turn and get a free draw. That's awesome, dude. I had to say that. Or revive it with any card that revives from the grave. Powerful Rebirth. Powerful Rebirth can revive this, and you can get a free draw. I think that's awesome, and this card is pretty cool. I don't know what other deck can run it. I don't know, maybe Harpies or something. Harpies with Powerful Rebirth, because it is a wing beast, so it does kind of benefit them. So I think that's just a pretty cool little card that I needed to give a shout out to. This card is actually legit, but whatever. Moving on. Another card I want to talk about is Flamvell Pound. We actually got more Flamvell cards. This one is basically just a searcher for any monster with 200 defense. And if you guys check, a lot of fire monsters have 200 defense. So I needed to give a shout out to this card because it's just pretty cool. Also, you could technically search another Pound with this and thin out the deck, but I don't know why you would want to do that. But another card I wanted to talk about is Photon Lead. This card is legit. This card's going to be really, really awesome. This card lets you special summon one level 4 or lower light monster from your hand in face-up attack position. Now, this card is just going to be awesome. This card is just going to be great. Photon Lead is such a good card, dude. It's one of those staple cards to run in a light deck if you want to just spam the field. So Lightsworns can use this. Pretty much any light deck. I mean, you could just Photon Lead it up. And I think that's pretty much it. We have a lot of other cards. We have a lot of the Bujins support cards, like Bujin whatever, this and that. They're all Bujin stuff. They all give them different effects. But we also have Bujin Bastion over here, or Arasuda. But if you notice, he looks like Bastion. All right, but that's pretty much that. I mean, he looks interesting in Bujins. I don't think he's that relevant, but whatever. I mean, main one is the other guy, Yamato. But I think that's pretty much it for this set. There's a lot of really interesting cards in here. Maybe the Crash Bug one can also give you some free special summons. But you can also use Photon Lead to special summon Sacred Crane. So that's cool as well. There's a lot of little tricks and stuff that are all built into this like set. So I think that's just pretty cool. But that's pretty much it for today. I just wanted to talk about all the new cards in this set, talk about the best cards, and a lot of really cool combos you can use with some of these cards. And if you guys enjoyed, go ahead and leave a like, share, and subscribe for more Duel Links shenanigans. But anyway, thank you guys for watching today. Have a great day, and see you guys.